that have the non-dairy products and everything's all natural and soy and tofu. And
oh, those people that always look like they're getting over something? No. No. She's trying to be on her best behavior, and I'm just dragging it out of her. The vegan restaurants. No. No.
Farmers markets, they could sell fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, farmers market is always good. I think farmers markets are good because that's healthy. It's community based. I think they're great. That vegan clinic thing you were talking about, no.
No, I never mentioned the word clinic.
You might as well just put a for rent sign back up on that on opening day, grand opening for rent. So you'd like to revitalize Main Street and
absolutely,
and just get it on the same stretch out that corridor so that it's kind of a center hub of everything.
Correct.
But no city council mansion like Barbie wants over there.
No, I'm very unselfish.
It
doesn't have to be all about me.
Yeah, there's yeah, you're a lot shyer than he is because once he gets comfortable, And
again, Mark is my friend, and I know how Harvey is, and he's just joyous and happy, and he's great. He
loves life. He loves life.
He does,
and it loves him back. I think. What's your typical day like as a council president?
Typical day.
Is there a typical day? Because many jobs.
Honestly, no.
What's the weirdest thing that you've walked into?
See, the weirdest thing that I've walked into. I didn't actually walk into it. I had a phone call about a constituent concerned about the animals being caged at Elmwood Park Zoo.
Versus?
She just felt like the animals didn't have enough room to roam around, and she felt that the animals were having anxiety, and she wanted
Guess who's going to be going to your vegan restaurant? Her.
That was one of the strangest calls that I've ever received.
And how did you handle that? What is the alternative?
So the alternative to that is one,
mowings go up.
I spoke to her and got a feel for her personality. And from there, I kind of figured she just wanted to be heard. And then I pointed her into the proper contacts to contact the zoo with any of her concerns or her issues that she was having in regards to the animals going through anxiety, and to talk to the trainers there.
That's very polite and diplomatic.
Hey, that polite and diplomatic is me.
Yeah, I don't think I could have done that.
I mean, that's not to say that when I
when you
was
hung
listening
up
to the voicemail, I was like, looking at my phone like, what?
I think conversations would be a lot different if people could hear 20 seconds after we hung up. The laughter or whatever. It would just ruin society because, I think
it absolutely would ruin society, I must say. Yes.
How do you measure success in your job there?
Success. I measure success by the end result. And I say that to say, when creating legislation, there is some pullback from either colleagues or the municipal manager. And at times, you just have to learn how to deal with those challenges. And once you overcome those obstacles of challenges, to me, I consider it to be a successful task.
If you weren't doing this, what would you be doing? What's your dream job?
My daughter probably knows this. Quite honestly, it wouldn't be a job that I would be getting paid for. My dream job would be volunteering, assisting the elderly or the youth.
Nobody in the middle?
No.
What about the middle?
I don't know about the middle. It's like Moni in the middle, but I don't know. I feel that it begins with the youth, where you have to encourage them, inspire them, lead them, and guide them. And I mentioned the elderly because now they have lost most of their senses and they're lonely and they want someone to talk to them. And it's just being that caring, giving person.
It used to be the youth used to do that back in the old days.
You're right, the old days.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't that old. It wasn't like we were riding around in brontosauruses.
Hey, speak for yourself.
It wasn't that
You don't know my age. I don't know anything about the Flintstones or the Brontosaurus burgers.
I'll guess your age at 29.
He's just being so kind.
I say that to every woman, and everyone knows it's a lie, but they still take it because anybody will take an age compliment, and 29's a safe number. About the hit, it's Jack Benny's eternal age. That's.
But if I told you I was 25,
I'd say you need to probably call the people you wanted to send the zoo woman to. Your job and what made you want to be civically involved in your community? What made you want to be a public person? Because you don't seem like many of our guests, you don't seem like a public person. You seem like a private person.
That's interesting you say that. And that's a great observation. I actually chose to be in the public just to be the voice for those that are voiceless. And I also am one of the geeks at the end of the year. I like to check off a box of growth. And public speaking was something that I was petrified of.
Oh, okay.
And opposed to running from my fears, I decided to face my fears head on. So I faced public speaking head on. I accepted going out into the public head on. And at the end of the day, though, I'm still a private person.
It's amazing. One thing I've learned doing this, and I don't like public speaking. I never have. It used to bother me a lot more, but now it's just like an out-of-body experience. But a lot of people that are public people are very private. And I had Bruce Castor on here, and we all know how public he is. And he talked about dad's got a legal background, mom's got a theater background. He combined the two. Combined them well. Explains a lot.
But yes.
But he said left to his own, he would just rather drive and listen to books on tape. But when he's got to do his job, he's got to do his job. And that's how I think a lot of people are, you know. And people just think that person you are when you're in front of the microphone is who you are all the time. And that's, you know, it's...
For me, that is totally untrue.
Yeah, it's not... I don't want to use the word acting, but it's almost a form of acting where you're...
It sort of is. It is. Yeah. In a sense.
Because it's not who you are. It's who you have to be for the moment, you know. And I don't think people realize that. And that's how I got over fear of speaking, because I said, that's not who I am. That's who I have to be right now. And I'll just be that person. People need to realize that when they're dealing with you and they disagree with you or what you're doing, that's what you're doing is to better the community. And you might even be in a position, anybody in a leadership position had to make decisions that even they don't agree with, but
Absolutely.
It's the right decision. You know, what I feel is right and what is determined to be right are sometimes different things.
Yeah.
Hopefully not often, but
and it's not often. And also coming into this position, knowing that you're not going to make everyone happy. My motto is, I'm going to make the right decision. And if I can lay my head and sleep at night, I'm good with that.
Yeah, my leadership model is pretty much 51% and I'm good. No. Well, people,
yes, I could tell you like the outer body experiences already. That's my observation.
If you try to make everybody happy, you're not going to accomplish anything.
Absolutely not.
You just won't. And on the other hand, you can't be there just to do something that serves a limited agenda and not worry what everybody thinks. But you can't make everybody happy. It's impossible. There's so many ways for people to complain now.
And it's interesting that you said that in regards to having an agenda. My colleagues at the one time, the first year that they wanted me to be president, they were like, "You're the perfect fit." I'm like, "Why would I be the perfect fit?" I'm like, "I'm just getting my feet wet." They were like, "You don't have an agenda. You're not driven by a title." Because for me, people are like, "Oh my God, you're the president." I'm Sonja Saunders at the end of the day. That's who I'm going to leave out of council as, Sonja Saunders.
Well, not to diminish their pick of you as president, but sometimes peers will pick somebody to be in leadership if they have the best interest of the organization at heart, and they need somebody who is not mired in politics, who is not indebted to people, and who people who are opponents to progress have no read on. So they can't judge, they can't get under their skin. They got to figure them out. So sometimes that's why they grab somebody and go, "You'd be a good pick."
Mm-hmm.
They checked off all the boxes and you met all the requirements. What do you think your legacy will be?
Ooh, I'm not sure.
Daughter with a bad neck?
No, I'm hoping my daughter will have a track scholarship. No.
You're going to have to throw that phone down the street. She had it down for about 3 minutes. I didn't know if she had to nap or something, but she had it down. I thought it broke.
She'll take bathroom breaks. My legacy, I would just want my name to be mentioned in the community when it comes to assisting the youth, mentoring the youth, and assisting the elderly.
I'm from Philadelphia, so I'll speak about Philadelphia. We tend to forget our council people, unless they're really bad. We remember the bad ones. We tend not to remember because it's a larger group. It's not like the mayor where it's one, and you can remember it. There's a bunch, and there's some are staying, some are going. It's difficult, but yet we can remember names of every athlete that's ever come through the city. So it's not just names; it's how much we care about anything. But I can name you the ones that have been in trouble, but it's tough to name the ones that just did a good job.
That's true.
It's So maybe the way to have a legacy is to, punch somebody on the way out or something. I don't know. End it on a bang.
I'm all about that, ending on a bang.
Aggressively litter or something. What would you tell people before we go to after show? What would you tell people about who wanted to get into public service, who wanted to do what you would do? What would you say to someone who's listening, who's your daughter's age, who wants to do it?
What I would tell them is it requires a lot of time, a lot of dedication, commitment, and being that voice for those that can't be heard, or being the voice for those that are afraid to speak for the right thing.
And would you do it again?
Absolutely.
Okay. There was almost a little hesitation, but there wasn't. And when are you up for re-election?
Unfortunately, I'm in my second term, so I have 3 years remaining on council.
I thought you said it was every year, though.
No, as president, it's every year.
Oh.
No, so our terms are 4-year limits.
Oh, so the president and the council elects the president.
Correct.
Oh, so you can be kicked back to the minions. My words, not hers.
Yeah, I love my colleagues.
Well, I mean that.
But yeah, so yes,
that's a really interesting way to do it. I thought it was a general election all in all, but okay, so it's just in the chambers and you decide.
Yes.
So it's not as much, but there still is. You got to be careful towards election time. I see that so often. It's like nobody's making bold and brave decisions during election time.
No, you want to play it safe.
Right. You want to play it safe. Just like, when you have